Hello everyone, welcome to this video and this channel. I am your host 3G Geek, and oh my god, I saw Endgame and it's amazing, but that's actually not the point of this video. Today we're going to be talking about the recent stir on the internet that has to do with having an easy mode for games, and I just wanted to give my 2 cents on the whole subject and just kind of all that good stuff. So, with that in mind, let's jump into it after a quick intro. So, 2 things to get out of the way just right off the bat. First off, I really don't know where this whole thing started. Apparently, it's been going on for a little while with certain games and stuff like that, and I don't know what necessarily re-sparked it. I think it was the Sekiro Shadows Die Twice game, but I don't know what specifically sparked it. The second thing is, I'm not trying to pick a side one way or the other in terms of whether developers should have an easy mode in games or whether they shouldn't. I'm just trying to give like a brief overview and just kind of my thoughts and personal opinion on the whole thing. So, starting off, we got the 4 adding easy modes to games piece. Now, I really do understand where these people are coming from. They want to be able to experience the game themselves, but there is a huge learning curve for these games. And that is completely understandable. I mean, you want everyone to be able to experience a game and be able to play through it, and you don't want a frustrating experience for the end consumer, just because then they won't actually play your game. Depending on the type of person who buys it or anything like that, they may not be ready for that learning curve that it takes for them to fully enjoy the game. On the other side, though, I also completely understand the want to not add an easy mode for a game, simply for the fact that the developers can do what they want. If they want to make a game that is not necessarily inclusive of the whole population of gamers, I mean, it is entirely within their right, and I think to an extent, essentially it comes down to the market will decide if the game is successful or not. If it's not, then maybe they won't make another one. But I think in From Software's defense, they have had success recently with the Sekiro Shadows Die Twice game. I think there are a lot of people who are super excited about it, and they are enjoying the game completely. And clearly, From Software Games, they developed all the Dark Souls series and all that good stuff. Clearly they have a formula that they have nailed down, and it's successful enough that they keep tweaking the formula and adding on to it and fleshing out the whole concept, and they've made several games from this very tough, you will die in this game mentality, and you can't really fault them for it. So that's really just kind of the whole thing in a very, very quick nutshell. And, yeah, that's pretty much it. And in my opinion, I don't really know why this has started. It just kind of seems like a weird thing. One thing that I would like to point out about this whole thing is that, back in the early days of gaming, there really wasn't, that I know of, many levels to choose from. The Super Nintendo, a lot of the games in the Super Nintendo Entertainment System, I don't believe that there was an easy, medium, and a hard mode in these games, but people didn't seem to mind back then. And I would even argue no game also frustrates the hell out of me. It's not even close to anything Dark Souls. It's the Super Mario World. Anything that's the side-scrolling Mario where you have to jump up and make it through level in a certain amount of time. Those games stress me the hell out, and eventually I hit a wall that I can't get past, and I either have to grind through it, or most of the time I just kind of give up. Which, yeah, I mean, it's kind of the game is drastically different in terms of the mechanics and what goes into it and all that stuff, but it's really kind of the same thing. You have to grind to be able to get better at the game to overcome these problems. But that's just, I don't know, that just kind of seems to be... So to me, comparing those 2 games, it's kind of a stretch, but it's kind of the same basic idea that you have to overcome and grind and get better at the game to be able to overcome these obstacles. And another thing that I will mention about this whole thing that I find interesting, as I just mentioned this example of the Super Mario World games, of the side-scrolling Mario games, like, no one else has pointed out any other game series that they have issue with having like a set difficulty for everyone, other than the Dark Souls-esque games that include Sekiro: Shadows Die Twice, Dark Souls, obviously, and Bloodborne as well. And I just kind of find it interesting that they can't name any other games outside of that they want this easy mode and something like that. Another thing that just kind of strikes me as funny is like, yeah, you want to experience a game for the story, but the Dark Souls games or anything like those games, the story is so convoluted anyway that like I have watched a video dedicated to explaining the story in Dark Souls, like across all 3 games. Even watching the video, I still have no idea. Like, I have a better understanding of what's going on, but it's still not a full grasp of the concept or the story behind the games themselves. And so, yeah, I don't know why people say that they play these games for the story, because it's so convoluted and no one can actually understand it anyway. And that's probably on purpose regardless. With all that being said, this is just kind of my personal opinion and kind of like a very quick overview of the issue itself. And with all that being said, this is where we come to the end of this video and the part in this video that I ask you your opinion on like just the whole idea of adding an easy mode to some of these games. And actually, if you want to talk about it, we could talk about Endgame, but please, actually, no, I take that back. You cannot talk about it at all, because I don't want people spoiling the movie for those of you who haven't seen it yet. But anything Dark Souls game-esque or easy mode in games or anything like that, feel free to leave your thoughts and ideas and comments down below in the comment section. If you like this video, please hit that thumbs up button. It really helps me out trying to figure out what you guys like and don't like. And last but not least, the old subscribe button. If you really like this video and you like seeing my face consistently, remember to hit that subscribe button and ring that little bell so you know when I post new videos and when I stream and all of that good stuff. And with all of that being said, as per usual, you can probably say it with me if you've been following me for a while now. This is 3G Geek signing off. And when I say that, you probably still like even get the little pause in there before I say signing off. Either way, peace.